Austin, it's not your first buzzer beater, but for the Lakers, but just considering all the circumstances and the week that you've had and everything that's kind of been on the shoulders, your teammates, how does all of that hit you after you saw the ball go up in the air?
That one felt good. I mean, for obvious reasons, we won, but last time we were in this building, I had a shot to tie it in the corner in the playoffs. I think it was Game 4 and missed. Let me tell you that feeling sucks. And we had a comfortable lead in the fourth. I wouldn't say comfortable. Nothing's comfortable in the NBA anymore. But we had a lead in the fourth, and they did a good job getting back into it. Take the lead with 10 seconds to go, and it's easy not to. It's easy to be down on yourself and frustrated. There were some plays in the fourth that I wish I didn't make and that I made, a couple turnovers, and just to have that opportunity to get us a big road win, obviously with a lot of people hurt, it's special, but like I said out there, we wouldn't have been in that position if it wasn't for everybody that chipped in tonight. Jake was monstrous. I think that's the best basketball game I've seen him play since he's been in the league. But you could go down the list. It wasn't just him. And even though I struggled offensively, putting the ball in the basket, we didn't let that frustrate us. They kept hooping and kept encouraging me to go do what I do.
JJ was telling us that in the timeouts late, there's a play against his own, there's a play against man, but can you walk us through when you get the ball, you see Gobert come in, how you kind of decide to split the double, like what's going through your head in the time? I know it's instinct, but can you walk us through that last play?
Yeah, they did a good job. The play we were trying to run, they did a good job, kind of killing the play early. Jaden pushed me out to a position that I didn't want to catch it, but got the ball and seen DA running up for a screen. Did a good job sprinting into it, so Rudy had to, try to follow suit so he could be, up to touch on the screen. And with him running full speed towards me and me running towards him, I have the, edge on being able to, go both ways. And, when I seen him on the outside, obviously, like you said, it's instincts. Got by him and then seeing DiVincenzo, set up for a charge. So I couldn't get all the way to the rim and just got to a good spot and put up a good floater.
Honestly.
Good to see you work.
Good to have a job. I want you to be honest right now. No LeBron, no Luka. How much is this on you, not to just score, but to lead the team when you have two of the other stars out? And don't give me that old...
I mean, obviously, even when they're playing, I put a big responsibility on myself. It's different responsibilities, obviously, because they do so much for our team. But when we don't have them, the responsibility changes. But it's not. I wouldn't say it's physically. It's a little more, but I'm always mentally trying to figure out how I can help with them too and without them too. So it's definitely different in the sense of how I have to play and how I have to conduct myself. I can't get frustrated because at that time everybody's looking at me, and in those situations you have to be calm, be confident, and lead your guys through. Like I said, they had we were up I think 10 or so, and they went on a run, and it's not hard to kind of crumble in those situations, but you got to keep the energy high, you got to keep the spirit high, and but saying all that, everybody, not just them two, please come back.
What's the roller coaster of emotions like where build a big lead, despite being shorthanded, they cut it all the way down, get ahead with the Randall bucket, and then you got to find a way to get your guys a shot in those final seconds. How do you go up and down there?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't much of an emotional roller coaster for me. I don't think it was for our guys either. We executed against the zone. We got good shots. Had a couple, offensive rebound, drop-off passes that we just bobbled around the rim. But we actually did a good job executing and missed some really good threes. There was no break in composure. There was no break in competitive spirit. There was no break in belief of whether or not we could win the game. I thought the guys, those last two plays, because they ran zone for 4.5 minutes. So those last two plays, to drop two plays, one versus man, one versus zone. They ended up running man both times for us to get that execution, get it to the right guy, create an advantage. Both times, really. We had an advantage. Austin was easily going to race that and create a 5-on-4 or a 4-on-3. So I thought that was huge from our guys. I'm so proud of this group right now. Honestly, it's from where we were like 3 weeks ago, where we're discombobulated and guys are missing training camp and guys are modified participants. We're starting to come together, and I've asked a lot of these guys, and I'm asking a lot of them while we're undermanned, and they're delivering. They earned this victory.
Clearly, they were paying a lot of attention to Austin, and he ends up with a career high tying 16 assists. But for him to, I think he's basically split the double and is able to still score through traffic. Like, what is that moment to peak it? But what does it say about his whole game?
Yeah, that guy is going to show up in the big moments. It's not surprised. He's done that many times in his career. He's done that many times since I've been his coach. Feel very comfortable with him making decisions at late game.
When I guess you have timeout 6.6 seconds left, whatever. At that point, that's where you're referring to drawing off both a play against the zone and against man?
The first one, yeah. So the first one after Randall scored,
right.
We drew up two plays,
Yep.
One versus zone, one versus man.
Right.
Then we drew up, after they had a take foul, we drew up another two plays.
Okay.
With just a small tweak. That's all it was.
Got it.
For the man version.
And in the man version, generally, obviously the ball in Austin's hand, but what was kind of, if you could describe in a layman's term, kind of what you're looking for? Obviously he scored, so you got what you're looking for.
I thought those guys did a great job of reading it on the floor. What we were looking for was not going to happen because of how Gobert was playing. So we changed it last second. He was all the way back at the rim, or in the paint. And so we changed it the last second. Austin got the ball, and then DA made a great, quick decision just to come under that ball screen, and Gobert was too far back, and Austin attacked.
JJ, I think you guys had 5 guys in double figures tonight, and one of those guys was Jake. What did you think about his composure and the way he played for you?
Well, very early in his Laker career, but clearly his best game as a Laker. I'm really happy for him, and I know they showed something the other day. I think it was the Amazon video about reference points, and for Jake as a Laker, this game now is a reference point. Not only for the offense, again, he's had 2 of the last 3 games. He's been phenomenal defensively. His activity level, deflections. I'll find out, but he's 6 or 7 deflections tonight. He ended up with, 1 steal and a block, but that doesn't really capture his level of activity defensively. And then just continuing to have confidence in his shot and belief in that was big.
It looked like there were times where he was guarding Julius Randle and wasn't backing down at all. Was that intentional, or that's just on a switch? Where Jake was guarding Julius it looked like he was on him.
Yeah, it's our switching
quite
group.
a bit. Okay.
It's our switching group.
What's up, guys, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button for us so we can get this content in the algorithm. And also, please be sure to subscribe to the Lakers Land YouTube channel if you're new. And you can also purchase a channel membership for exclusive Lakers Land content. Also, join our Lakers Land watch party room on Playback TV for free VIP access to all of our Laker games and our live weekly podcast. That's playback.tv/LakersLand Show. We also have merchandise available in our YouTube channel store, so grab some Lakers Likes merch today. Peace.